Hello and welcome to this week's Live, Local and Loud with me, Kevin Gaughan. On this week's show I shall be chatting to Adam from local indie punksters Neon Sarcastic. And I'll also be playing lots of homegrown music by local bands. Hello, I hope you're all having a great week and are keeping well. I'm still a little bit croaky. This is my second week of having COVID-19. I think I've had it for about 10 days now. But don't worry, I'm doing this show in isolation. Which reminds me, the next song, or the first song on today's little show, is by New Age Grace, which is actually inspired after lockdown number 1, I think it was, and Climbing the Walls.
Not sure how it started, pinpoint when I lost my mind, searching for something I can't find. Darkness holds me tightly, comes a raging storm inside, leaves me feeling nothing I can't hide.
That was New Age Grace and Climbing the Walls, inspired after lockdown number 1. Okay, of course you can see New Age Grace. They'll be supporting Thea and the Virgin Marys at the Sunny Sound House in sunny Leicester, and you'll be able to see them on the 30th of April 2022. So that's the Virgin Marys supported by Thea and New Age Grace. That'll be a fantastic gig, that one. So that's at the Soundhouse Leicester on the 30th of April. Meanwhile, let's have a little bit of Poe. This is Ruth Miller, who I spoke to a few weeks ago now on this very show, because she's now in Punk Rockers Verinos, but I was chatting to her a couple of weeks ago about her project with Verinos, but she's also got her own solo project called Poe, and here's Poe Looking for the Holes.
Look for the holes in your life where the fishermen are sitting rotting. I've grown, oh how I've grown. So goodbye, so goodbye. I'm not the nurse that you crave, with a pocket full of soothing potions. I'm brave, I'm not your slave. So goodbye, so goodbye. Some people cling to the past like a very hungry little puppy. I know I won't be the last. So goodbye, so goodbye. Think of the good times we had, and you'll never ever ever hate me. Be sad, please don't get mad. It's goodbye, it's
That was Poe Looking for the Holes. If you want to check them out on Facebook, it's P-O with an exclamation mark. And of course, they recently played at the Indie All-Dayer at Firebug in sunny Leicester. Okay, let's have a little bit of Steve Faulkner and Armour Plated Soul.
If I look in the mirror, will I
That was Steve Faulkner and Armour Plated Soul. He's performing live shortly. He'll at the 31st of March 2022. He'll be at the Donkey, and he'll be supporting Waldorf, Rumweather and Full Fathom 5. So that'll be brilliant. That's at the Donkey, 31st of March, supporting Waldorf, Rumweather and Full Fathom 5. And the Donkey, of course, is in sunny Leicester, up Welford Road. Okay, so let's go from Steve Faulkner to a band who you won't be seeing anytime soon because they don't exist anymore. Here's Super 73 and Shiver and Shake.
Something's gotta give or I'm not getting down to you. And you went the wrong way. Won't you understand that ever since I let you down, you don't look the same. You shiver and shake. I try guiding, yes, it keeps me awake. With all the things that keep me backed into the corner, I'm a little lost without you. At our stage, there's no one like you. All the ways you couldn't let me down. Now I've lost the game and I can't seek without you. I'd like to hide now. Well, something's gotta give or I'm not getting down to you. Admit we went the wrong way. Won't you understand that ever since I let you down, you don't look at me the same way. We're caught in consequence and traps. Oh, instead, we should find our own way back. Either way, I swear I'm like you. There's no need to behave, and so I lock it down. Other days I like to lay beside you and try out to say, get my space, I can do plenty. Yes, I cross my heart, but then I'm sure to die. Other days I like to leave it empty. Well, something's gotta give or I'm not getting down to you. Admit we went the wrong way. Won't you understand that ever since I let you down, you don't look at me the same way. We're caught in consequence and traps. Oh, instead, we should find our own way back. It's all because I'm flying. I'm flying. I am flying. I'll fly. Well, something's gotta give or I'm not getting down to you. Admit we went the wrong way. Oh, won't you understand that ever since I let you down, you don't look at me the same way. We're caught in consequence and traps. Oh, but instead, we should find our own way back.
That was Super 73, Shiver and Shake, sadly no longer with us. Somebody who is definitely very much still with us is Siobhan Matzi. You can either see her on her own or she's often performing with her band, but this is from her solo project. It's Siobhan Matzi, Ghost in a Shell.
I'll start somewhere where we can compare. Your lips are cold just a phantom. I'm just a soul. I'm just a kid that always plays alone. I can see that you can see right through me. Crosswords at the tip of your toe. Can you read my thoughts? Can you read my mind? You're coming close to that. I'm really not kind. I'm just a ghost in a shell, and I'm not feeling quite well. Quite well. So come on, necromancer, teach me the ways. Show me the blood that could go on for days. Give me the hunger, give me the dark. Show me the pain, the anger, and the hurt. Can you read my thoughts? Can you read my mind? You're coming close to that. I'm really not kind. I'm just a ghost in a shell, and I'm not feeling quite well. Quite well. Can you read my thoughts? Can you read my mind? You're coming close to that. I'm really not kind. I'm just a ghost in a shell, and I'm not feeling quite
That was the amazing Siobhan Matsey and Shiver and Shake. Wonderful stuff from her. Now it's time for this week's interview where I'm chatting to young Adam from local punk rockers Neon Sarcastic. But first of all, let's start with one of their old classics, Illusionists.
A list of forces drive me forward.
That was Illusionists by Neon Sarcastic. And this week's extra special interview is with Adam, guitarist from the band. Hello, Adam. How the devil are you today?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
And thanks very much for spending a little time out to be on my show. It's absolutely fantastic to be speaking to you this evening.
No worries at all.
Adam, now, just to give people perspective, of course, Neon Sarcastic were one of the most popular Leicester indie bands on the scene probably about 10 years ago now.
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, I think you disbanded around 2015-ish. Is that right-ish?
Yeah, I think it was around 6 years ago. I mean, we always said that, never say never about having another gig. But we just said, we'll just take it a breather for now. And then maybe one day we'll come back and, show our faces again.
Okay, so that was 5 or 6 years ago. And of course, We're really, really, really pleased to announce that you're actually coming back on the scene. So that's fantastic and really exciting. But first, Adam, let's start at the beginning. Let's start about 10 years ago. Now, you were one of the biggest bands on the scene. How big did you get and what sort of gigs were you playing?
Well, yeah, I mean, from the beginning, we just saw the band as, just something to do, something just have a laugh with each other on stage. And then it just went on from there. And we ended up doing a few UK tours, some of the great like O2 academies,
exactly.
And just going around the country and just meeting new people. And it just kept on going on and on and on. And it's just like, wow, and we're really happy with where we got to and actually doing these UK tours and seeing these people singing the songs back at them when we've never been in these cities before. It was just, it was amazing. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
And what sort of bands were you touring with then if you're going around the country?
Well, there's a band, our first proper tour, there was a band called That Sunday Feeling. And they were great. They were energetic. They were, nice bunch of lads. So it's very, energetic, alternative rock, pop punky bands that are really, really great to share a stage with. And it was a lot of fun.
Because of course you played the huge marquee at Glastonbury, didn't you, as well?
Yeah, we did. We played Glastonbury a few times, and then this one show, it was great because we were in the big top, on the big stage, and then Mercury, the Queen tribute, were on the actual main stage, but it actually chucked it down with rain. So for us, it was great because everyone just piled into the big top, and it was a pretty amazing gig, to be fair.
I remember that because that big top was huge, wasn't it? It was like the second stage at Glastonbury. So
yeah, it was great. Huge. It was really good. It's a great festival as well, to be fair.
Did you get any new fans out of it then, if all the Queen lot were seeing you?
I imagine so. I mean, we'd had a few beers, so I can't remember a massive amount of that show. But I mean, people seem to appreciate, because it was a tribute festival. We did put a few covers in there that a lot of people would know. And I think they seem to appreciate that. So, but we seem to get a great reaction from everyone. So, we're very pleased.
Oh, that's fantastic. So we've just played Illusionists. Now that's one of your. Is that from the older Neon Sarcastic?
That's actually fairly. That's the newer Neon Sarcastic.
Oh.
But all it was from an era where we had the same lineup as what we have now. And it was from your. It was from your previous incarnation, wasn't it? Yes, that's right. Yeah, excellent. So could you just tell us a little bit about the song? What was the inspiration? How did it come about? So the inspiration behind Illusionist is basically, it's so easy to get the wool pulled over your eyes with the media and other written text as well. So, don't let something like the media dictate your life to you. And, there's a line in the chorus, don't believe everything that you read. And that's, quite apt for today and forever, to be fair. Because all your songs seem to be very up-tempo, light-hearted. Do you think there might be, these days, do you think they might be maturing a bit, or is it similar sort of material, do you think? I mean, I think you get the same feeling from our older stuff, but I'd say there's a more mature aspect on our later songs that we recorded. But you still get the same similar vibe, bit of a party vibe, bit of a jumpy. You can
really tap your foot to. So yeah, we tried to keep that with it, but yeah, like you say, a lot more maturity.
Absolutely. So I mean, is there anything you could put the finger on? What was the secret to your success back then? Because I remember you were really one of the big bands there. I mean, I remember Lock 42's opening gig. It was heaving in there. You know.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. We had a couple. Our last gig at the Shed that we played was on our last tour. Yeah, that was just packed out.
Yeah,
I think we just we show that we do have a good time. We don't like to take ourselves too seriously, and I think that shows where we like to have a good time. We like to have a good time on stage. We've got good chemistry on stage. And it just stems from when we started. It was a bit of a laugh and a giggle, and that's just gone on and on and on to all the shows that we played.
Because you were playing for how many years were you playing? How old were you back? Well, as a band, were you back then?
Oh wow! What from the?
I seem to. Yeah, I mean, you've been going for about 7 or 8 years, haven't you? I seem to remember.
Yeah, total. We started in, I think, about 2007.
Right.
And then, but as a band, as this collective, yeah, it's about 7 or 8 years.
It must have been a big commitment, though, in those days, because you were quite young.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. It was a great time. When you tour in the UK and playing these shows, it's a treat more than a chore. So, Yeah, we live quite local to each other, and me and John have known each other for 20 odd years, probably even more than that. So we all sort of knew each other. We'd hang out, we'd go to the pub together. So yeah, not really much of a chore, to be honest.
So let's play another one of your songs, and then we'll talk about the big hiatus you seem to have taken and bring it more up to date. So let's have a little bit of Chemistry Was Never the Problem. Before we play it, though, can you tell us about how it came to be? What was the inspiration behind this?
Yeah, okay. So Chemistry Was Never the Problem is a relationship-based song, but it's just saying that, it's not all about infatuation with a relationship. There's a lot more to it from that that you need. And that's basically it. Yeah, it's not just, how you feel about each other at the start. It's how you progress through that.
I couldn't have put it better myself. So here's Chemistry Was Never the Problem by Neon Sarcastic.
Chemistry
That was Chemistry Was Never the Problem by Neon Sarcastic. This week's extra special interview is with Adam, guitarist from the band. So, Adam, that was a great little catchy number. So brilliant. So you were obviously you were very successful as one of Leicester's local indie bands, and then it all went a little bit quiet. So why was that then?
Yeah, I think at the time we'd been playing together and touring for I think 9 years, and I think it was just when life gets in the way, and I wouldn't say it gets tiring, but we did enjoy seeing a lot of the people around the country. But like I say, just life gets in the way, and other people had other hobbies they wanted to pursue. So it's like, well, let's just take a little rest for a bit, and if a gig comes along in the future, then great.
And then the little rest turned into quite a big rest.
Yeah, it did. I can't actually believe it. It's been 6 years, to be honest, since we've been on stage, and it's been great in this time where people have said, "Are you coming back? Are you going to do another gig? What's happening?" And we still kept in contact with people that have wanted to contact the band, etc., or individuals. So that's been nice that actually we've been wanted. So it's 6 years.
And what made you come back then? Did you sit down and talk about reminiscing?
There was actually talks before COVID about us doing a gig. And possibly coming back and doing a gig, and then obviously COVID hit, and it's hard to think that was 2 years ago, or almost 2 years ago. So now I think it's calmed down a little bit, and like I say, we still see each other. And I think we've always got this desire to get on stage again and just play with each other again. So it's we just put it out there one day about this certain gig coming up, and everyone agreed to it, so it's great.
So did you write some new material, or are you playing the old classics?
Yeah, we're going to do the greatest hits.
Excellent.
And we might slip a new cover in there as well. So so we're currently just posting on Facebook all the videos and all the songs from what we recorded and what's more likely going to go in the set. It seems to get a good reaction from them.
Because I could imagine over the 6 or 7 years, you must have changed a bit as people. So might that affect your songwriting and what goes into the music? Yeah,
possibly. I mean, I'm still immature, so I can safely say that I'll still be the same. I think so. We've had a couple of practice together, and the chemistry is certainly still there, and we still have a lot of fun playing these songs together. So I don't think it's too much to worry about. If we were to write anything else, then I still think you'd see the old Neon in it. But again, a bit more maturity.
Excellent. Do you think you can just continue where you've left off, or will you have to start from the bottom again and play the open mics and then
Yeah. We'll have to see. this gig, which I know we'll talk about, is a big gig, which we're really looking forward to. And if it's play, we were quite easy going. We did love playing the big academies on tour, but we're the smaller places, you still get a great reception, and sometimes in some respects they can be a lot more personal as well when you're playing those gigs. So we don't really mind where we play.
Because of course the Leicester music scene's changed a little bit, hasn't it? Since you last played, some venues have closed and some ones have opened up. Have you seen the current Shed? It's been revamped.
Yeah, I have seen a couple of pictures. I know a couple of people that have been there and played there. I've not been there myself. I know, again, with the last 2 years with COVID, it's been tough to go anywhere. But it looks great. It looks like brand new, and I'll have to check it out soon.
Brilliant! It's got an awesome one of those huge screens, about 5 foot width, I think, screens, LED screens at the back. So it's great. Yeah. Okay, brilliant. So like you say, is that your comeback gig? Would you like to tell us about that?
Yeah, so like I said, we saw this opportunity, and it was with a band that were posting that we know called Oceans Apart.
Oh yes.
And they've got an album launch. And it's at the Y Theatre, and they were looking for support acts. And we know them from one of their previous bands, and we know them in Oceans Apart as well. So I just messaged one of the guys, said, are you still looking for support acts? And the drummer Kyle, he says, don't even kid, don't, because we would love you to play. I said, well, I've got to, discuss it with the lads, etc. And when everyone agreed to it and said, yeah, let's do it, and we were so excited. And I was like, you know, there's always time for one last gig, whether it's going to be the last one. But I did say, shh to everyone. Do not tell anyone about it. We'll you know, come make a Facebook post about it, and we'll get it out there. We'll get a little bit hype up, and everyone's been excited. We've had a really good reaction, and it's at the Y Theatre in Leicester on July the 9th. And it is Ocean Apart's album launch, but we'll be main support with Rosaire and side projects playing on it as well. So I was just said to all of them, I said, you know, let's rock this joint.
Yeah, that's going to be amazing. I mean, that's quite a big venue as well, isn't it? The Y Theatre.
It is, yeah. So, for our, comeback show, again, it is all about Oceans Apart that night because they've put this night on and it's going to be great for them. But for our little comeback show, yeah, it's a great place to play. And, and just wait. It's going to be a great night, I tell you.
Brilliant. I can't wait for that one. Okay, that's fantastic. So what would you say your next 5-year plan is, if you've got one? Where do you want to see yourself in 5 years as a band?
Wow, that's the question. I mean, obviously we're quite a bit older now, and life is still getting in the way, but I'd love to. I mean, look, I don't think there's ever going to be a time when we'll say to each other we'll never play together again. But I'd love to write a couple more songs. I'd love to do something I'd love to do for years and years and years. We've never got around to it, is do a Christmas cover. And I would love that. And again, our own little way, and not take ourselves seriously and make it as cheesy as we want. Because, that's the most fun, isn't it?
Okay, so you've got your gig on the 9th of July at the Y Theatre supporting Oceans Apart, which is great. Any other gigs or anything lined up? Or Glastonbury again, or Glastonbury?
Oh, Glastonbury, yeah. We haven't got anything else lined up at the minute because this was just such an instant, when we got the gig, like, oh my God, we actually need to play it now. We actually need to think about it. But we haven't got anything lined up at the minute, but we will be recording. We want to try and record a few acoustic tracks of our old stuff, and we'll be putting it out there. So, and you never know, you might find us some open mics. But yeah, we'll always put the information out there for you to find us.
Brilliant. And how can everybody keep in touch with you?
If you just put Neon Sarcastic in any social media, you'll find us. Facebook, YouTube. Gladly, there's no one else called Neon Sarcastic out there. No. So, you'll find us easily.
It is quite unique, isn't it? It's great. I must admit, it's a nice, cheery name, which I think was the intention, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Excellent. So thank you very much for chatting to us today, Adam. Before we go, though, we're going to play one more song of yours, the old classic Codename Disaster. Would you be able to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, okay. So Codename Disaster comes from, it was about a girl that we knew, and she kept on self-destructing in a relationship. So on a Friday, she'd be like, I'm in a great relationship. By the Monday, she'd self-destruct and it'll be gone. I will note that she's happy now. So, all well that ends well. But, her code name became Disaster. And that's where it comes from.
That's brilliant. So this song's all about her. So here's Codename Disaster by Neon Sarcastic.
Fuses are burning, help me tonight. We can save this, stop fences are burning. Help me tonight. We can save this. Stop being fooled. Codename disaster. With your hands to the sky. Are we gonna save this? Are we being fooled? Fences are burning. Help me tonight. We can save this. Stop being fooled. Codename disaster. Codename disaster. Codename disaster. With your hands to the sky. Codename disaster. Are we being fooled? Fences are burning. You set them alight. We can save this. Stop being foolish.
That was me chatting to young Adam from Neon Sarcastic. So can't wait to see them supporting Oceans Apart at the Y Theatre on the 9th of July in sunny Leicester. Of course, that last song there, codename Disaster, was about a young lady who had disastrous relationships. Apparently, she still doesn't know that the song's about her. That brings us to the end of another Live, Local and Loud with me, Kevin Gaughan. I hope you've enjoyed the show. Don't forget, if you want to listen to any of these interviews or listen to the show in general, you can check out musicinleicester.co.uk and there'll be a load of podcasts there all on the right hand side. Also, don't forget, if you want to know what live music's coming up in Leicestershire, check out our handy gig guide in musicinleicester.co.uk. I'll see you here, Hermitage FM, next Thursday at 5 o'clock. Do have a great week, and hopefully I would have shaken off this nasty COVID-19 malarkey.